Alright, and now we move on to what's called two-step equations. Okay, 8th graders, you know what I'm going to talk about if you had me last year. In grade 7, here's your lesson plan. Alright, I do two-step equations by teaching a little story again called the mother-in-law story. Kind of a little comical spin on two-step equations. Let me talk about how the mother-in-law story works. Number one, you need to get married, have a mother-in-law. So here's my example. All right, 4x minus 7 equals 5. I'm first going to identify who the married couple is. It's right over here. Here's a heart around them. Well, 4x is going to go on their honeymoon. They just got married. And now think about yourself, boys and girls. When you go on your honeymoon, I don't think you want your mother-in-law hanging around. Yes? No. Well, this mother-in-law, her name is minus 7. Here she is. That's her name. And she keeps hanging around. And they're saying, Mom, we're on a honeymoon. Get out of here. So we got to find a way to make her disappear, so to speak. And we'll do that through undoing all the operations. Well, her name is minus 7. So we're going to do plus 7 to both sides. That makes her disappear. You bring down the honeymoon couple. What a cute couple they are, 4x. And 5 and 7 make 12. Well, things didn't work out so well. Remember what happened last time with a marriage divorce? It's going to happen again. 4 and x get into a big, huge fight, and the x tells the 4, you get your bags and get out of here. And there goes 4 being divorced out. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. Abracadabra, there's your answer key. X equals 3. Plain and simple. There's your mother-in-law in a nutshell. Negative 7 is a mother-in-law. You make her disappear by doing the opposite steps. Then you do a little divorcing, dividing, and bam, you're all done. Let me try another one with you guys. How about this one? 5y minus 6 equals 14. Okay? I see who's married, 5 and y. I'm not doing hearts anymore. 5 and y are married, and the mother-in-law, her name is minus 6. We need to make her disappear, in quotations. So I shall do plus 6 to both sides. That makes her disappear. Bye-bye, she's gone. Now bring that happy honeymoon couple down. Aren't they cute? And 14 plus 6 makes 20. Okay, now, didn't get along. Yelling, screaming, throwing dishes, and there's a divorce. And the Y tells 5, you get your bags and get out of here. And the 5 gets kicked out. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. Abracadabra, there's your answer. Oh, by the way, this is the work I'm looking for in tests and quizzes. You're showing me your 2 steps. Step number 1 is adding 6. Step number 2 is dividing by 5. I want to see that. I'm not joking about that either. So make sure you show me your work. All right, next one up. Let's do how about 32 equals 20 plus 6h. Now, be careful. I see who the honeymoon couple is. It's 6 and h. The mother-in-law is not 32. The mother-in-law is not 32. The mother-in-law's name is 20. Here she is. She's on the same side as the married couple. So we need to make her disappear by doing minus 20. Or negative 20 if you prefer. Bring the honeymoon couple down. Remember, 6 is married to h. And 32 take away 20 is 12. Uh-oh, big huge fight, yelling, screaming, and guess who gets kicked out? The number 6. And then 12 divided by 6 is 2, so 2 equals h, or h equals 2. That's pretty much in a nutshell. But I got one thing. This is the one problem that kids always misinterpret. I'll do a large print. 3 minus 5x equals negative 12. So I'll ask things like, who's the mother-in-law? Kids will say 3, 3, 3. You're right, 3 is the mother-in-law. What do I do to make her disappear? They would tell me do a minus 3. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. And then comes the married couple. Well, first I cross those out, and they do a pretty good job at knowing that negative 12 and negative 3 make negative 15. But they forget. They pull the x and the 5 down, and they think the married couple is 5x. It's not. You got to bring the minus that was before it and say negative 5x. And that's where a lot of kids get it wrong. So make sure you're not going to fall into that trap. Because I'll put problems like this in a quiz or a test. Okay, divorcing time. You know, like lipstick taser, divorcing time. So we divide by negative 5, not positive 5, negative 5. And x equals positive 3. Alright guys, so that's a pretty much cut and dry story of your mother-in-law problem. I say, who's your mommy? No, who's your daddy? Who's your mother-in-law? Make her disappear. Who's married? Divorce them, and then you have your answer key. So these are the steps I'm looking for in a quiz, guys, or a test or homework. So when I say show me your work, that's what I'm talking about, like Mr. Gru says. Alright, now there's part 2 here. This really isn't a mother-in-law problem because no one's married, but it follows the same procedure. Alright, so x over 2 minus 4 equals 9. You kind of have a mother-in-law. I guess you can call her name minus 4. And we'll undo her, or make her disappear by doing plus 4 on both sides. So you still do opposite operations. Now, there is no married couple. This is a fraction called x over 2, so write that down. And 9 and 4 make 13. Now remember what happened from the other lesson plan? You would crisscross multiply, and 2 times 13 equals 26. So it's kind of like the mother-in-law, it just has a different twist to it. Let me do another one. 10 equals x over 8 plus 3. I should do some negative numbers here. Okay, the mother-in-law is plus 3, so we do minus 3. We're opposite operations. All right, cross out if you want to. Bring that fraction down. Now 10 and minus 3 is 7. Crisscross, multiply, 7 times 8. And you have x equals 56. And abracadabra, you are done. Good, I got a negative number here. All right, my last one of this type here. Let's do y over negative 6. And how about do plus 11 equals negative 20. So one more of that sort. Mother-in-law, I guess you could say her name is plus 11. We'll do minus 11 on both sides. You can bring the fraction down. Y over negative 6 equals negative 31. Remember, negative 20, negative 11, combine them to get negative 31. Alright, now crisscross multiply. Oh gosh, I'm bad. I'll do it over here. I know the answer is positive because a negative times a negative is a positive answer. Oh, 186. 186. And as I say in France, whomp, there it is. And there's your answer key. Okay, so I gave you kind of 3 and 3 of each roughly. Some are the true mother-in-law and some are the other rendition of it. You're kind of just doing the opposite operation. So once again, step 1 is doing minus 11 to both sides. Step 2 is crisscross multiplying. And of course, then you have your answer key. And that, guys, is the mother-in-law story or two-step equations in a nutshell. So hope you got it. And that's it. All right, bye.